Insemmilkom, sinjuri, grazzi li qed issegwu il-programm illum. Se nagħtu ħarsa lejn il-logħb tal-poker. Il-poker ħafna drabi jużawh fil-business, kif jagħmlu d-deċiżjonijiet, kif jikabru l-business, is-strateġija tal-business. U għalhekk għall-business news illum xi ħaġa naqra differenti waqt li qed issir fil-Marsa il-konferenza ta' Sigma din il-ġimgħa.
The press conference that happened at the Phoenicia Hotel is all about the Sigma Poker Tour. I've been admiring the Sigma company for many years, and the founder, Emmanuel Pulis, and myself have been discussing the poker vertical. But it was until this year that he came and he's like, let's do it. So we're going to do the Sigma Poker Tour, which starts in Brazil as a first stop, and then in Malta, which is my home. So it's very exciting to get Sigma, such a tech company, plugging in with the poker. But a proper poker tour, right? A tour for professional players. It's not the usual networking one-night tournament that we had at Sigma, but it's a proper poker tour with a schedule. We have the Hendon Mob having the first Latin American Championship in Brazil with us. So all the events are titled, they are prestigious, there's going to be a lot of money behind them, and I'm very excited about it. Hi, I'm Yvonne Montealegre, and I am the Sigma Poker Tour Manager. Expect big prize pools, great poker action, plugging in to the existing Sigma conferences that bring the best eye gatherings, best dinners, concerts, and more. So expect action at the Felds and an amazing array of side events and off-the-felt activities for networking, business, poker, and more. I see you all there in 2025. Poker in Malta has been a trip for me. It's incredible. When I first came to the island 20 years ago, poker was very incipient. You had very small tournaments and initiatives here and there, but I came to Malta with my experience from Costa Rica, and I saw this. It's like a beautiful island with all the gaming companies where there's a lot of gaming staff, so it makes sense that gaming staff would want to participate in poker tournaments. So I started developing a project called Battle of Malta, and it became the biggest tournament ever. Now I'm doing the Malta Poker Festival and the Sigma Poker Tour. But Malta is all about the community. We have a very vibrant community of poker players. We also travel all over Europe, and it's a beautiful game, it's a beautiful community full of special people and characters.
Playing poker very naughtily at school when we were like 9 or 12 years old, and then here and there it used to come back. Then I remember I started to play online again, and then you came to the casino, and then I fell in love with the game. In 15 years I'm still learning how to play. Yes, I was a boarder. You have a lot of time at school, and poker was very fun. Part of the, when you can't go out and play or something, you'll be in a study room or something, and instead of studying, we play poker. I wouldn't say I'm a professional level. I'm far away from it. Professional level involves a lot of commitment and time and studying. It's more of a hobby. Obviously, in a sport where it involves money, you need to be successful to keep playing and playing at higher levels. But it's fun, as long as the important thing is you budget. In fact, the biggest asset of a poker player is his bankroll management. And that's how you play these tournaments and everything. And if you want to become professional, it's like any other job. It's very hard and you have to put a lot of commitment.
People from all over the world in Malta. I would say that the actual poker players in Malta are 30% Maltese and the rest we are foreigners. A lot of Swedish players, German players. It's from everywhere and it's a beautiful community, and how often do I meet them? Every Friday. I love it. Porto Maso Casino is my home, absolutely my home. It's a big sacrifice for me to be away from Costa Rica, but this island is my chosen home. I've had even my 3 children here by the same midwife. I am a Maltese honorary daughter because I love this island. And I am very grateful because this island has allowed me to make my dreams come true. It's a beautiful place. My family is actually coffee growers, a very traditional family. My last name, Montealegre, belongs to an ex-president of my country, was my great-grandfather, Jose Maria Montealegre. So it's nothing with gambling, actually. So it was quite shocking for my family when I took this path, but now they love it. They are very proud of what I've done, and it's not easy to be an expat, but again, this island, when the pandemic was hitting and I had to go home, Malta is my home. Amazing, but it's a land of a lot of contrast. And I don't look like your typical Costa Rican, right? So I've always felt a little bit out of place in Costa Rica in a way. I mean, I love it, but it's a land of extremely rich or extremely poor people. And that's really sad when you have such a, Latin America is a land of contrast and in a way unfairness, and there's a lot of struggle. So I believe that I am very motivated and ambitious because of of how you grow up in Costa Rica, right? It's like a real, very jungle, strong environment to grow up in. My siblings, I have one sibling in Germany, and he's an electrical engineer. He's fantastic. My sister, that looks very much like me, she's a doctor, and my other brother is an engineer too. And my parents, my mom is amazing, she's a pharmacist, and my dad is an engineer too. So yeah, I come from a middle-class, hard-working Costa Rican environment. When I was graduating from, I'm a trained psychologist actually. So I started practicing psychology and I said, this is not for me. Hearing problems all the time was not my thing, you know, because I'm very empathetic, so it was not working well for me. So I discovered poker, marketing for poker, and then playing poker, and I became fascinated with the industry. So one of my clients from Sweden brought me to work in Stockholm, but after a year I said, it's so expensive and so cold and I don't have my family here. It's not a great city for me to be alone with my boxer dog. So my client said to me, we're gonna send you to this tiny island in the Mediterranean. It's going to be part of the EU in a year or two, and we're gonna open our gaming office there. Why don't you open the office for us? And you know, so I came to Malta, opened their offices, fell in love with the island, and the rest is history. 23 years later, I haven't left.
In Malta, the laws, we are a bit stuck because 18 to 25 Maltese players are not allowed on the casino, so they play online. So when they come here, it's a bit of a shocker for them. It will be their first time in casino, so it takes a bit longer. But the community, there's everybody. We have veterans who've been playing for 30 years in Malta, new players, and from all different types of society. It's a whole mix. This is even when we have a lot of expats here. And thanks to iGaming and everything Swedish, it's a beautiful international affair where a lot of cultures are mixed, and you learn a lot and you become friends with a lot of the people. Although we're trying to take each other's chips at the same time.
I love that part of poker. Poker gives you a skill set that you can apply to life and business. For example, women. We are trained since we are small to be risk averse, to be always in control, to not be so ambitious, to not risk. And poker, if you don't risk in poker, you're never gonna win. So poker teaches you to be more courageous, be more in control of your emotions too, because if you get emotional, you lose, such as in business and in life. If you get too emotional, you lose the cookie. So poker is a fantastic skill set to acquire. It's very normal that traders in New York, for example, will have poker training so that they can get these elements of being ambitious, courageous, risky, assess risk and control risk assessment. So I think those are qualities that anyone needs, and I think it's especially important to teach people to play poker because it gives you that kind of skill set, and women especially.
Today, where I've been for these 15 years, relate a lot of things with poker. It's probabilities, risk assessment, and money management. There's a lot in business. In business, every decision you take, there's a probability of a risk, what you're going to do. It's the same thing in poker. Poker, every decision you're going to take, there's a risk of what, and you just quantify the risk, you put the value, if you're going to invest money in it or not, you can see it in that way. Poker can be a way of life, yes, the thought of how poker works.
That's a big part of the game. To know when to step out of the game is crucial. If you're too emotional, again, you have to cool down, take days off, take a week off, and get on the proper mindset. That's very important. So yes, I mean, it's super important to know when to control your bankroll, but also keep in mind, for example, me personally, I'm a tournament player. So I play tournaments that are, you have X amount of money to get in, and if you lose, you cannot keep buying. I don't think I'm a good cash game player because I am too risky, so I'm a tournament player. So poker gives us this kind of competition level on tournaments that can be very professional and not a gambling exercise, but a game of skill exercise.
Well, important thing, the most important thing, you only play with money you can lose. That is the fundamental right. And when you go inside to play a tournament or anything, your expectations are you're going to lose. Then if you win, it's a bonus and all that. That's the most important thing. But normally, as a player, if I have 1,000 euros saved for poker, I should be only playing 100 euros in my next tournament, or 50 euros. So you try and risk the minimum as possible, 5% literally, as your bankroll.
My recommendation for people that are curious about poker is to play online for a few euros, even 10 euros, and then you win the entrance to a bigger tournament. Like the Sigma Poker Tour is gonna cost 770 euro, but we're gonna hold competitions all over the online properties that are sponsoring us. So it's a great way to play for little and then you win the prize to go to the big one. But if you've never played poker, the best way is to train online. And we have many resources with PokerStars, Unibet, all licensed here in Malta as well. So that gives us a very strong environment, security, trust. It's important.
I don't play much online. I play more live. I love people. I love to be on the table. I love to socialize. Also, playing with somebody you can see, you have a lot of information. How he folds, what cards, what this, which you collect. Online, you don't have that information. Plus online, there's so many good players. There's kids. I have some friends who play online, which I had the fortune of watching. It's like Premier Division and Third Division, the level, and it's so hard. But I need online to practice, because like I play mixed games. There isn't enough to play live. So I play online, $3, $7, horse, 8 game. I don't play Hold'em anymore online, because I've kind of get bored now if I play that. But online, I find it as a good use to practice and win a bit. But I'm more of the live player. I love the people. I love the connection, you know, and have a good laugh at the same time. It's a hobby, remember. You have to enjoy it as well. Our community event is the 7th of December, which is a charity event. And that's where we all meet up. And it's going to be with Sigma and the local community, poker stars, and it brings in a lot of iGaming. And that's like, we all have fun. There's a bit of alcohol involved, and it's like a celebration, and we do something good in return as well while meeting up. But then during the year, like MPF, for example, this tournament we've just had this week, and we've had another one in Casino Malti, Battle of Malta. All players came from all over the world. You sit down on a table, beautiful Greek, Spanish, French, Sweden, and they're all different levels. You get players like me, which I call a fish, a small player, and you can get a top online pro or somebody worse than me. You don't know. That's the part of the fun of the game, that you have to realize who's good, who's bad on your table. And it also involves how much the buy-in is normally. Gets the better players and the less better players, let's be polite. Some people it takes them longer to learn, some people it takes them less, but you see the player evolved. Sometimes you play with a player for 2 months, you don't see him for 8 months. You go back, you think it's going to be a bit of easy money, and he takes all your money playing really well. He would have studied a course or learned something. Yes, there's a lot of improvement. And don't forget, poker is not only the 2-card game, which is Hold'em. In fact, at school we used to play 5-card draw. There's 1,000 different games. Mixed games, 8-game, horse, Omaha. So it's a mental game. And you always have to use your brain and learn more and study strategies. And I really enjoy it. It's fun.
As a matter of fact, I just won a competition online, and I was playing with my son. And it's so beautiful to see him comment, and he's like, "Mom, you have the kings, it's so good." And so I have the children involved, of course. My husband is a professional Swedish poker player, Peter, and he's part of, we do a lot of things together. We're a family business in a way, because we really share our passion for poker. Poker is everywhere in my life. It's incredible, including my love life. That's how I met him. And I wouldn't put it any other way, because of him being a poker professional, he understands too the sacrifices. It's long hours. Sometimes I go to fascinating locations all over the world, and I don't leave the casino because I have to work. So it can be a very glamorous life, but it's also a life full of sacrifice, long hours, dedication, studying. So I am very lucky to have him supporting me and holding me together.
As we have just learned that Kamala Harris, the current vice president, has called now President-elect Donald Trump in a concession speech.
My comments about Kamala Harris, I mean, it's affecting, the Trump election is affecting us worldwide. Like now we see again that crypto is hot because Trump endorses crypto and so on. I am not particularly familiar with Kamala Harris's strategies for poker, but I think she's a strong woman. She's a very determined, strong woman, a risky woman too, and I'm not surprised she knows how to play poker. It's incredible. It's one of the biggest poker critical masses in the world. The Brazilian poker players are getting great results. They're turning professional players, a lot of them. There's a side of recreational players, but the community is huge. I mean, Brazil is a hot market right now. Everyone in gaming wants to get in Brazil, and we're getting there with the poker. The mother of all conferences, the Sigma conference, is happening this week, and already the island is flooded with over 35,000 delegates coming from all over Europe. It's huge. It's a huge impact for Malta, for the island. I think they're paying like 150 million in taxes, the Sigma group. So imagine the contribution. The whole island gets a boost, and poker is a part of it. So I am very proud to be part of the group now. Imagine this, Sigma group equals the Sigma Poker Tour now. It's going to be amazing. Our first two stops in 2025 are going to be Brazil and Malta. So exciting, so many players. It's going to be amazing.
Grazzi signori illi segwejtu il-business news illum fejn għamilna xi ħaġa differenti, tajna ħarsa lejn il-logħba tal-poker u kif tintuża bħala strateġija fil-business. Jekk għandkom xi kummenti ibatuhom permezz tal-WhatsApp fuq il-number leader fuq l-iskrin. Jiena Lea Hogg għal Net TV.